30 in the mornings, and we also have a few other beach cleanups throughout the year, including Earth Day. That's our next one coming up on April 19th. It's pretty low key. You come out here, we have materials ready for you. We have gloves, we have buckets, and we just encourage you to spend a little time outside on the beach cleaning up, helping out, but also appreciating this habitat for yourself too.
How do we foster a love of reading even in the youngest Angelenos? The Central Library Family Storytime will do just that. With stories carefully chosen to draw in everyone, these little ones will learn to love reading and all that goes with it.
Aspire Bakery. Carmelita stops to look in the window. Let's go in to get some cookies for Mama said.
So today we were doing our family story time. This happens most Saturdays here at the Central Library at 2 p.m. On the days it doesn't, it's because we have a special program. For example, last week we had a puppet show at the same time. But today we were doing our family story time, which generally means that we are reading a bunch of books, singing a bunch of songs, and then doing a craft afterwards with kids of all ages. We love including multiple languages in our story times. One of the books we read today was Say Hello by Rachel Isadora, which includes languages like Chinese, Italian, French, Arabic, to really bring in kids who speak multiple languages.
They love learning about things, and the more stories you have, the more you're able to figure out what their interests are to help them develop their little personalities.
Stories are really, really important, especially from that early age before a kid can read. Hearing stories is what gets them interested and excited about reading books later when they can. This is super important for families to have not only the space, the books, but also programs that they can go to for free, giving them extra opportunities both for kids to hear more stories, hear more words. So like I said, family story time here at the Central Library at 2 p.m. on Saturdays. It's an amazing program. Come by, come see us, and come hear some really amazing stories.
The Venice Branch Library takes the books to the streets as it joins the Venice Farmers Market. In a new approach to community outreach, the library is bringing story time and more outside. Let's take a look.
We are here at the Venice Farmers Market. I am the librarian over at the Venice Library, and we are doing story time. We are so happy to work with the Farmers Market to bring the community out. We're doing stories and crafts and songs. So instead of having people come into the library, we are going out to the community, and this is a wonderful outreach opportunity to bring books and stories and crafts to the community. So we started this about maybe 3 months ago. This is a brand new program. We do it every second Friday of the month from 9:30 a.m. to 11. And we had a wonderful crowd today. Everybody was really excited to celebrate Valentine's Day with us.
1, 2, I love you.
Yeah, so I think the program's a really nice idea. I've got 2 kids, a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, and it's really nice that there's something for both of them. So there's story time and then the arts and crafts. So today we've been making Valentine's Day cards and yeah, sitting out in the sunshine.
Yo creo que es muy bueno tener muchas actividades en las que los papás y los niños puedan venir a disfrutar. Tienen la oportunidad de conocer más niños, él practica su escucha, ya sea inglés o español, convive con otros niños.
It is open to everybody. It's free of charge. They just need to come. If they want to sign up for our email list, they can do that. We're targeting the younger crowd, but it's really open for everybody. For more information, please go to www.lapl.org.
In this week's feature story, the Los Angeles Central Library has a wealth of culture on display. In fact, there is a tour of the art and sculpture and other points of interest in the interiors. Let's go beyond the books and learn more about the buildings that house the Central Library.
Welcome to a dozen tour of the LA Central Library. We're going to see the art and architecture of the 1926 Goodhue building that we named for its architect, Bertram Goodhue. and the 1993 Bradley Wing, named for our mayor at the time, Tom Bradley. We'll see sculpture on Flower Street side, we'll see the rotunda, we'll see all the art in the new wing. I love to do these tours because I love this library and I love these buildings. It's full of art, full of sculpture, full of people doing wonderful things for this community.
The tour was super informative. You get to walk around the whole building. You get to see all of the chandeliers, the art. It's really beautiful.
We saw most of the library and its collections, as well as the architecture and the history of the library. So you got to kind of see what the library has, as well as the history of the building itself. The chandelier in the center of the library was really cool with the 48 light bulbs and the zodiac signs. That was spectacular.
I think what people take home from the tour is that Los Angeles has more history than we sometimes give it credit for.
I just really recommend coming to the tour, taking the tour. It's really informative.
You know, we all love the library. I'm a big fan of using it back in my hometown, and we all just appreciate the services they offer. And everybody on the tour was great. Miss Kaplan, the tour guide, was really, really nice and really informative.
Please come on a docent tour of the LA Central Library. They're free. The times are all going to be on the library's website. And while you're there, check out all the other wonderful, amazing things this library has to offer.
LA Central Library is certainly a downtown gem, and it's now drawing in the tourists. In this week's Things to Do, take in all that the Abilities Expo has to offer. Head to the library for an author talk with Jeff Hobbs, and La Mag, LA's municipal art gallery, introduces a trio of exhibitions. All this up next on Things to Do.
Get empowered and connect with the Los Angeles Department on Disability at the Abilities Expo. Explore over 150 exhibitors, attend workshops, and experience hands-on activities like the adaptive rock wall. This free event also includes information, resources, and a glimpse into the latest technology. Complimentary loaner scooters will be available to navigate the expo on a first-come, first-served basis. Come out to the Los Angeles Convention Center for Abilities Expo, taking place on Friday, March 7th and Saturday, March 8th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday, March 9th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information or to register, visit abilities.com. The Los Angeles Public Library invites you to the Central Library for an author talk with Jeff Hobbs. The critically acclaimed writer's new book, Seeking Shelter, tackles the issue of homelessness. In it, Hobbs tells the real-life story of Evelyn, a single mother of 6, trying to keep her family together amid the housing crisis. The afternoon event features Hobbs in discussion with LA Times editorial board member Carla Hall. Head to the Central Library for this author talk and discussion on Seeking Shelter on Sunday, March 9th at 2 p.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. The City of LA's Department of Cultural Affairs invites you to the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery, also known as La Mag. The gallery is reopening with not 1, not 2, but 3 dynamic new exhibitions and is celebrating with an opening reception on March 9th. Enjoy Step and Repeat, a group exhibition inspired by the historical pattern and decoration movement of the 1970s. Experience the sculptures in Memento Mori, the first institutional exhibition by LA artist Sun Lee. Explore the interconnected natural world in the work of Danila Cervantes at the 3rd new show. Head to Barnsdall Art Park and celebrate at the reception for these 3 shows on Sunday, March 9th at 1 p.m. For more information, visit lamag.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this week. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Hi, my name is Amanda Charles. I'm the librarian 3 at Teenscape. Teenscape is the library within Central Library that serves teens and young adults aged 12 to 19. When we opened in 1998, we were the first public library dedicated space for teens. We have over 4,000 square feet of space with a collection of over 30,000 items. We act as ambassadors to the rest of the collection for young adults. There may be some teens who are reluctant to approach a librarian in the art department. They are unaware that they can make an appointment and view materials in special collections, and so we'll often be the ones to reach out and help make that connection and introduce them to that collection. The item I brought today is it's a book. It's not rare. It's not unusual. It's called Korematsu v. the United States, World War II Japanese-American internment camps. It's part of a series on important Supreme Court decisions. I chose it because the Supreme Court is in the news a lot right now, and there's a lot of talk about how important it is to choose the right justice. Korematsu v. the United States is an example of what can happen when the Supreme Court goes wrong and how it can have tragic effects on the lives of American citizens. So if a teen came to me and they wanted to know why the Supreme Court mattered, I might choose a book from this series and offer that to them. But the thing I really wanted to point out about this book is that it has this yellow and red YA sticker on the spine. You will find books with the YA sticker on the spine sprinkled throughout the collections everywhere in Los Angeles Public Library system. However, at Teenscape, every single one of our books, all 10,000 of our nonfiction books, all 10,000 of our fiction books, our graphic novels, our manga, everything has this young adult sticker because everything in our collection is dedicated to young adults. We're where students come and learn to be researchers, and I'm really proud of that. Thanks.
Good morning and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Friday, the 28th day of February in the year 2025. My name is Marquis Harris-Dawson. I serve as chair of this council. Public comment will be taken in this chamber. For this morning's meeting, I'll ask the clerk to begin our proceedings by calling the roll.
Blumenfield, Harris-Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Gerardo, Lee, McOsker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right. First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of February 26, 2025.
Councilmember Blumenfield moves. Councilmember Soto Martinez seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Park moves. Councilmember Hutt seconds. What's next?
Mr. President, I will run through the agenda. Items 1 through 12 are items for which public hearings have been held.
All right. Anything else on the agenda?
No, sir.
We can go to, all right, specials members. Specials to my left. Councilmember Jurado.
Morning, Council President. Thank you so much. I have an amendment for item 2 that will circulate shortly.
All right.
Thank you.
Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to call item 12 special. There will be an amendment circulating shortly.
All right. Any other specials members? Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. I have an amendment for item 12.
All right. Any other specials? Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Yes, thank you so much, Council President. Item number 12 for an amendment, and I believe that's being introduced and circulated.
Okay, and these are all 3 separate amendments?
Yes.
Got it, okay. All right. Councilmember Price, any specials?
Mr. President, out of an abundance of caution, I'm recusing from item 5 because my wife's employer has worked with the organization in the past on this item.
All right, item 5.
Thank you.
All right. Any other specials? All right, what items are available for votes?
The council may now vote on items 1, 3, 4, 6 through 11, and that'll be it.
All right, let's open the roll on those items, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Mark.
Let's open the roll, close.
11 ayes.
Thank you. All right. What's
Mr. President, would council like to take up item number 5 with Councilmember Price recusing?
All right, let's take up item number 5. Let's give Councilmember Price the opportunity to formally recuse on this item before we vote. All right, Mr. Price has left the room. Let's open the roll on item number 5. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Mr. President, we do not have the amendments yet for items 2 or 12, so the council may now move on to presentations.
All right, we'll move to presentations. We are here in Van Nuys City Hall, which is also the home of Council District 6. And Council District 6 is going to lead us in a couple presentations this morning.
Start?
You have the floor, yes.
Okay, cool. I don't believe everybody is here. Okay.
All right, well, we will, the council will recess for 5 minutes. That'll give us a chance to get these amendments in front of everybody and for us to organize a presentation. So we'll stand in recess for 5 minutes.
I'm ready. Council President, we're ready if you're ready. All righty.
All right, well, we will end the recess, and so this council is back in session. Councilmember Padilla of the 6th District.
Mr. President, would you like for me to call the roll again?
Please.
Blumenfield, Harris, Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Jurado, Lee, McOsker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 11 members present. And a quorum.
Yeah. All right, well, good morning, colleagues. Welcome once again to Van Nuys. I know it's always a little bit ruffled whenever we come here, but I can assure you that the San Fernando Valley really appreciates it. So today, I wanted to introduce someone that is no stranger to many of us, and not a stranger to any of us. I have the distinct privilege of recognizing a true legend in the field of transportation engineering, someone whose impact on our city streets, traffic systems, and parking policies will be felt for generations to come. In fact, right before coming to council today, I was remembering that I met this individual in the conference room of this building when I was a field deputy. And I vividly remember first going onto the LADOT website and saying, wow, this department has one of the best websites. Little did I know that it actually had to do with the mastermind that we are honoring today. After nearly 4 decades of dedicated service, we're here to celebrate the retirement of a colleague who has not only shaped the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, but has also been a mentor, an innovator, and by his own admission, your friendly neighborhood traffic engineer, Mr. Brian Gallagher. Can we give him a round of applause? Brian Gallagher's work at LADOT has shaped Los Angeles through innovation in traffic signal operations, mentorship, and policy reform. His career is a masterclass in transportation excellence. Maybe he'll start one in retirement, and then we can all watch and learn. Brian Gallagher joined LADOT in 1985 as a student engineer with the ATSAC program and quickly rose to lead traffic signal operations, expanding ATSAC to major corridors, overseeing the timing of 4,200 signals citywide. Beyond his technical expertise, Brian has been a champion of mentorship and diversity, including helping to start the DOT Buddy Mentoring Program, which helped establish the Black Engineers Growth Inclusion Network, begin ensuring greater opportunities, promotion, and retention of Black engineers. He also shared his expertise as a guest lecturer and played a key role in shaping statewide traffic regulations. His outstanding contributions earned him numerous awards throughout the years, including the Legend of SAC Award and the Mulholland Award for Outstanding Engineer, and commendations from LAUSD, as well as the U.S. Department of Justice and the Ford Foundation. But what truly sets him apart is his integrity, creativity, and unwavering dedication to problem solving, his sharp sense of humor, not everyone can hang, vast knowledge, and commitment to fairness, having left a lasting impact on Los Angeles. Brian's retired from LADOT last month, but from what he tells me, it was really like last Friday. Still writing reports till today. So after nearly 40 years of service, we are excited for his retirement. In his last role, he's leaving as Principal Transportation Engineer for District Operations Bureau, where he was at from 2017 to 2025, where he oversaw all 6 LADOT district offices and the creation of the Litigation Support Division, in addition to the department campus recruitment program for new transportation engineer associates. But before we hear from the man himself, I want to invite Assistant General Manager Dan Mitchell to speak.
Thank you, Council Member. Honorable Council Members, thank you for this opportunity to recognize and honor Brian Gallagher. He has been a shining star in the Department of Transportation for nearly 40 years. There's a lot I could tell you about Brian today, but I want to focus on one of his key distinguishing features, his heart. Brian has a huge heart, and he has poured all of it into all that he has done at work. Brian knows that what we do on the street shows up as signs and striping and bollards and signals and parking meters, but he understands that those affect people's lives and the quality of the environment they live and work in. And he cares. Brian knows the rules and has helped to keep us out of trouble, but he also understands how to use the tools we have within the rules to affect real change and improve the lives of the people of the city of Los Angeles, because he cares. Brian has also worked literally day and night defending the city with countless responses to interrogatories, depositions, and testimony in court, and he has saved the taxpayers literally hundreds of millions of dollars because he cares. But Brian's true wisdom is that he understands that behind those signs and signals and striping and bollards and parking meters, it is the people that do the work who make the difference. And that's why he has invested so much into recruiting and training and guiding and inspiring and appreciating the people that work with him and for him. And that's the most important way that Brian has impacted the Department of Transportation and is leaving it a better place and filled with so many people with inspired hearts themselves who care and make a difference. Brian has poured his whole heart into his work, and inspired by him, we will continue to serve this city council and the 4 million people you represent with the passion, the conviction, the integrity that Brian has modeled for us these last 40 years. So thank you, Brian Gallagher, from the bottom of my heart, and congratulations on your retirement.
The mic is yours.
Good morning, council members. Thank you for inviting me to today's council meeting. I was up all night last night trying to think about what I was going to say, and we got ready to go in the car to drive out here today. And my wife says, "Brian, leave the damn puppet at home. Just take a shower, wear some clean clothes, and keep it short so nobody will fall asleep listening to you."
I told you.
So back when I started working with the city, it was 1985, right after the Olympics. We had just gotten our first computer with the city. I'd never used a personal computer in high school, college. The first time I used a computer was at the city. We didn't have a fax machine. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have voicemail. People called on the phones, and the secretaries would write down the message on a pink notepad and put it on your desk. The city car that I drove was an AMC Gremlin. And a lot of things have changed since then. Tom Bradley was the mayor when I started, and a year or two after I got started, we converted the traffic signals from black and white to color. I've spent a lot of time working in the signal timing group and the district operations group, where I've had the pleasure to work with many of your staff. A lot of them are still working for the city, and I learned that doing a lot of the engineering was really good and nice, and I felt some level of reward from doing that, but it wasn't until I got to work in the district office, working as the department's representative with the council offices, where I understood that small things that I could do at my end had a much bigger impact on the community, and something as simple as a red curb or parking sign or loading zone could have a meaningful impact on somebody's life. So I guess I made a lot of friends in DOT. I really enjoyed working with all the council deputies, and the city attorney's office, I spent a lot of time with them recently too, and I've got to learn that the city attorneys in general are not as bad as everybody thinks they are. One observation I made, though, was that a good city attorney knows the law, but a great city attorney knows the judge. So It's been very hard for me to retire. My last day was last Friday. I still have reports that I have to finish before I'm allowed to stop coming into work. So it's hard to retire, but it's much harder to retire from the people that I've been working with. And it's those people that made the last 40 years a great place for me to spend most of my life. I do want to thank my wife and my family for sharing me with the city. Sometimes I worked a little bit too much, and my wife put up with it, and she kind of encouraged me to try to do a good job and to do what I can for the constituents of this city. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. There are a number of members on the queue. Councilwoman Padilla, if I can call on them at this time, beginning with Mr. Nazarian.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Brian, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. There are many employees and there are many people who look at whether it's the code book or the policy of the office or the manual that they're given to do the work that they need to and to comply with the laws and the rules of the body that they represent. Not only did you do that, but you always found the appropriate way of also addressing the heart of the issue. I had the benefit of working with Brian as a staffer in 2 different administrations before I ran for office. Even when I ran for office, I would get these random texts saying, someone should do a law about changing this code section in the California vehicular code section in order to be able to allow cities to do X, Y, and Z. So I've very much appreciated your partnership and your work, but more importantly, how you've always thought outside of the box or outside of the constraints of what the laws and regulations say in black and white letter, but try to address the heart of the issue while keeping the spirit of the law as well, and making sure that the interests of the individuals and the human beings whose lives you've touched are impacted in a profoundly positive way. Thank you very much for your service, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Nazarian. Mr. Lee.
Brian, I just want to say thank you for your help and guidance over the years, not only to my office, but to Council District 12. You've always been a solutions-oriented person, which is the best quality for a public servant to have. One of the things that comes to mind is how you helped us with our permit process, with our food truck. It was in events, there was total chaos before you got involved, but you were able to guide us through that. And I just want to say thank you, not only I wanted to say thank you, but it was important that, my chief of staff, Hannah Lee, and my entire staff, they just wanted to tell you how much we appreciate all the help and just friendship over the years. So thank you, Brian. Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you, Mr. McCosker.
Thank you, council member, for this opportunity to honor Brian. I want to give one example that was really poignant for me that expresses what my colleagues were describing in you, Brian. Right after I came into office, we had a gentleman who was killed in an intersection, you remember this, at Fries and G, Juan Arian. And we did a study, we asked for a study of that intersection as to whether or not it should have a crosswalk and a stop sign. And the study came back as no, it shouldn't. And the council member was very upset, wrote an angry letter and made angry phone calls, and fortunately it wound up on your phone at your desk. Not only did you do exactly what these gentlemen described, you put a human being on the other side of that question, but we put in that intersection and you showed up. You showed up on scene. And the widow and the son and the family members were there, and very few residents will ever meet a traffic engineer, and they had a profound meeting with a traffic engineer who cared deeply, and it means a lot. It means a lot in community when we put a human being behind these questions. So I want to thank you for that, for the humanity and for the care and the consideration you and your whole department brought to that one circumstance, which I'm sure you've done 100 times over. So thank you very much, and thank you for your service.
Mr. Blumenfield.
I just wanted to add my voice, Brian. You've been really just a great asset to the city. You've worked so well with my team. Melda mentioned your great sense of humor. You showed it to us today. We loved your comments. But the thing I think most is that what you've been great about is saying yes. You know, something that the bureaucracy is sort of always pushing back, and everything's always no, 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 and that's the frustration. I think we're all saying something similar, but one of the things that made you stand out so much is that you said, okay, I understand the rules. I'm going to figure out with you if there is a way to get to yes. And for that, that's what makes cities work. That's what makes, you know, this not just about a no culture, but about serving the community culture. And for that, we're very grateful. Thank you.
Councilmember Padilla. Oh, sorry. Too soon. Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council President. Brian, I just wanted to say on behalf of Council District 11, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to work with you, and I wanted to say thank you so much for all of your help on the projects in my district, and also just wanted to acknowledge your presence in claims and thank you for always being so candid and transparent, always coming prepared. The work and the time that you put in does not go unnoticed, and we're really going to miss you.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Padilla.
Thank you all for your words. But now, to close, we're giving you a gift of additional decorations for your home or wherever you choose to. See, I'm trying to keep up with his sense of humor. So on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, I want to present you with this plaque. Congratulations again on your retirement. Look this way. Let's move this more this way, so we're not in front of that. And now, you guys hear him? Hear him out? To our future leaders. Okay. Some CD6 pride in the house.
We got the beat. The mighty Mustangs got the beat. It goes. We got the beat. The mighty Mustangs got the beat. It goes. Our leader. Mustangs.
Oh, well, colleagues, I'm here really, really excited with the privilege of being able to recognize the dedication, resilience, and the excellence of our young leaders. Today, I'm incredibly proud to honor a team that has now made history in the world of high school athletics. We're here to celebrate the outstanding achievement of the Arleta High School cheer team, who recently won first place in the inaugural California Interscholastic Federation State Championship in cheer. Can we give them a round of applause? Come on, louder than that, guys, louder. We're cheering for cheerleaders. For me, this is incredibly special because I myself did cheer at Polytechnic High School for 3 years. And it's where I really established some of the longest friendships of my life, my best friends forever. Cheer taught us how to be tough, how to be charming, and disciplined at the same time. And it was part of our ability to become those well-rounded students that helped so many of us go into higher education, myself included. It definitely was a lot of the character traits that I learned in cheer that helped me get into UC Berkeley. So I'm excited to see them here today. For those of you who don't know, cheerleading became an official sport in California in 2018, very recently. And since then, Arleta High School has consistently demonstrated their commitment to excellence, winning 2 California Interscholastic Federation awards from the city of Los Angeles, finishing up as runner-ups 4 times. But it's today that we celebrate them being in first place at the state level. What makes their success even more remarkable is that the majority of these athletes started cheerleading in high school with no prior experience. Back in my days, the champions in cheer was always San Fernando High School. And now I'm excited to see that Arleta is taking that cake, taking that championship. And for those of you who don't know, they're actually contributing to a new identity because Arleta is a new school. It's no more than 20 years old. So I appreciate that with these championships, they're adding to the identity of the west side of the 91331. So, as a predominantly Latino inner city school, Arleta's cheerleaders have shattered barriers in a sport where diversity has long been lacking. Through dedication, resilience, and teamwork, they have shown that talent and perseverance transcends all boundaries. Today, we recognize not just their historic state championship win, but the dedication of their coaches, Jose Gonzalez Espino and Teresa Becerra, who have guided and mentored these student athletes every step of the way. So let's give a round of applause to the coaches as well as all of these student athletes. Can we have Coach Teresa Becerra, head coach of the cheer squad, say a few words?
Thank you. Good morning. And thank you for having us and our team here. My name is Teresa Becerra, and I have been a teacher and a coach at Arleta High School for 18 years. My assistant coach, Jose Gonzalez, was a former cheerleader of mine. And when he was in high school, he encouraged us to start competing. And that opened the door for me to learn about competitive cheerleading. And I've been hooked ever since. Since competitive cheerleading is a relatively new sport, I wanted to explain how it works. Teams perform a choreographed routine that is scored by judges on difficulty and execution. In this way, it's very similar to gymnastics or figure skating. There are required components of the routine, which include stunting, pyramids, jumps, a cheer, and a dance. In our routine, they perform several very difficult stunts, including one where they put the girl up and then they toss her and she spins and then she comes down and they catch her. Another skill that they did is they'll put her up, she'll stand on one foot and then switch feet in the air, the foot that she's standing on. And a third skill they performed, they would put the top girl upside down, toss her, and catch her standing upright. This team is a special team. After COVID hit and schools closed, we had to rebuild our team. Only one of these kids ever cheered before high school. We couldn't even hold tryouts in 2021 because there were not kids that had come with a cheerleading background. So we did sign-ups, and anyone who wanted to sign up for cheer could. And here, 4 years later, they're still on the team. Yes. Despite daily practices where they work super hard, despite countless bumps and bruises, despite a couple of broken bones and a few concussions, they are still here working hard because they love the sport and they love each other. They've learned several lessons. They know that if you fall, you get right back up. They learn to work together and problem solve when a stunt isn't working right. They learn that their hard work and determination can accomplish what once seemed impossible. They learn to dream big and to push themselves to accomplish those dreams. And they learn that hard work can be done with a smile. And I couldn't be prouder. And I'm so thankful for you to take the time to honor and recognize their accomplishment as state champions. Cheerleaders are always called upon to recognize and honor others. So we thank you today for recognizing these cheerleaders and for cheering us on. Thank you. And let's have a round of applause for the inaugural state champions, Arleta High School. Next, our senior captain, Ashley Peñati, is going to come up and say a few words.
Hi, my name is Ashley Peñate. I am a senior captain of Arleta High School. This experience has been one of my most memorable seasons. I think I speak for all of us. One of my favorite moments for this season was actually at state. We had just performed Hit Zero. That means we hit all our stunts. We executed it. And we were backstage, and Coach Jose was very emotional because we all have been waiting for this moment. And it was really nice. We felt really close to each other. We were so proud of each other because we worked so hard for this. This season has been a little hard. You know, we have not been hitting sometimes. A lot of things, we had a lot of injuries, but overall, I think it all paid off, and yeah. I'd like to thank my team. I'm very blessed for the team I had this year, and I'd like to thank you guys because we've never, like Ms. B said, we always cheer people on, and we never have people to cheer us on, and it feels really nice to be recognized, and yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Teresa, and thank you, senior member Ashley. That was great. Let's give a little bit of props before we get to the conclusion of this. Can we have the flyers raise their pom-poms? These are the ones at the top of the pyramid, risking those tricks. How about the bases? Who's the base? Yay, bases. How about our backstops? You know, I always said that when it came to cheerleading stunting, it was kind of like the back of a clock. Unless everything is perfectly in motion, you're not going to hit your stunt. And if you're winning championships, you guys are obviously operating like a well-working clock. So congratulations. Keep up the good work. Too many more champions to come. So to conclude, we are here to present your coaches. Mr. Jose, can we also, Jose Gonzalez, come in here, please? We want, on behalf of the entire city of Los Angeles and the council, this is for your campus, Arleta High School cheer.
Congratulations to you all. And a big round of applause for Councilwoman Padilla for bringing this presentation to us. And the young women and men that are with us this morning, just remember your councilwoman was a cheerleader. Several members of the council, the former city council members have been cheerleaders, and your mayor was the captain of the Hamilton High School cheerleading team. So you're off to a great start being here in City Hall. Point of order. Councilmember Padilla, there's a question on the floor. Was Councilmember Padilla a base, a backstop, or a flyer? All right, thank you so much for that presentation. Mr. Clark, Mr. City Attorney, I want you to prepare us for public comment, which we will take 30 minutes of public comment for this morning's meeting. Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to make an announcement. Give me 1 second, please. I wanna, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, thank you. I want to say thank you to Councilmember Padilla for bringing in these wonderful presentations. I don't have good news for you all. Colleagues, this morning we have been receiving reports from my district and from others about aggressive immigration raids and enforcement. My team and I have been in contact with community members and rapid response organizers since early this morning. The stories we are hearing are heartbreaking and indefensible. When we fought to make Los Angeles a sanctuary city last year, it's because this is what we feared. We feared for our neighbors, for our families, for our children, families being ripped apart. We feared for our people who would be targeted by weak-minded politicians who rely on ripping families apart. And dehumanizing human beings to score cheap political points. Colleagues, the reality is we have long been concerned about what is here. This is not a time to sit on our hands. This cannot be a time to think that we have done enough. We have to lean in. We have to put everything on the line to protect our families, to protect our young people, to protect Los Angeles and a significant portion of the Los Angeles population. And to my Angelinos, I'm asking you to get ready. My field offices are open to anyone who needs to get know your rights information. I know many of my colleagues are as well. Talk to your friends and neighbors. We know that the best way to protect each other is by knowing our rights. So make sure you go to Know Your Rights trainings, carry red cards, create an emergency plan, get informed and get together, because we keep us safe. So colleagues and everybody out there, please, if you can, host Know Your Rights trainings in your district. Community, si me escuchan, por favor, aprendan sus derechos, learn your rights, because that's how we're keeping people from being taken. Know your rights. That's what we can do now. Thank you, colleagues. Sorry.
Thank you, Councilmember Hernandez, and we appreciate you sharing. I just want to corroborate or share in Councilmember Price's district and my district this morning, between MLK, oddly enough, Martin Luther King Boulevard in Florence, between Avalon and Vermont. There was any number of ICE agents knocking on doors, pulling over cars, doing a number of things that were of questionable legality. And I think you're exactly right. Knowing your rights, telling your neighbors your rights. The silver lining of this morning, at least in South LA, neighbors were on the street helping neighbors, telling people who didn't know their rights, neighbors were telling them their rights, and our neighbors were standing up for each other. So it was a very nice thing to do. tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock at my district office on Vermont and 84th, we'll have a Know Your Rights training for anybody who wants to come that was scheduled before. Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, we too have been really trying to make sure that our citizens know what their rights are. We've had several Know Your Rights training workshops leading up to today. We knew that today was going to happen, and we have to just pull together. And so I just want to encourage everyone to know that help is available. You don't have to be picked up. You do have rights, and we want to work with you. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Mr. Price. All right, we can continue with our instructions for public comment. There will be 30 minutes of public comment for this morning's meeting.
Yes, Mr. President. So, for members of the public who are here to provide public comment, please note that public comment was held and satisfied at committee for the items on the agenda. That being said, due to the amendments on item number 12, we are going to reopen on item 12. So you will have 1 minute on item 12 if you like, and you'll have up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, you can speak to any of the items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. If I could have the interpreters make one announcement aloud to the room, and I will wait for them to go to the podium to do so. If you require a Spanish language interpreter, please make sure to pause every few sentences so the interpreters can interpret.
Si usted requiere de interpretación en español, por favor, haga una pausa para que el intérprete pueda traducir.
Don't worry, we will hold your time while the interpreters are interpreting, so you will get the same amount of time as everyone else.
No se preocupe porque el tiempo de traducción será considerado de tal manera que usted tendrá el mismo tiempo de consideración que todos los demás.
Thank you.
Gracias.
And then one more instruction. So in order to fit in as many people as possible during the public comment period, please make sure to stay on topic. If you do not do so, you may receive a warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, then you may be subject to forfeiting your time. Thank you.
I will now call for names for public comment. Carlos Castrano, Sean Murphy, Richard Serrano, Tom Homan, Jack Reacher.
Thank you,
Good
Google
morning.
Translate.
You have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you, our city attorney, for providing our beautiful Google Translate. Let's start with item number 12. 前面的大爷别走那么的快，看着你我的心跳也会变好快。突然间你跌倒，人群中传来更高 Subgator Las Gator。大爷的双手伸向湛蓝天空，此刻我应该留下开始快离开。我幼小的心灵承受如此的垃圾，是 Gator。让给面对选择，我是 Gator 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 Gator， 我可都是 Gator Gator。太多的思考已经没有时间，但爱你不要丢给你在我身边。如果此刻离开，那么我又算什么？是 Gator， 那是 Gator。但爱我的理由跟上给手机，这手机能打电话，该能录声音。但爱你此刻说出心里的话，说如果。就说效果如果是 Gator 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 Gator， 全部都是 Gator Gator。 General public comment. Some here, I'm here to support our ICE law enforcement. This country needs law and order. This country is not a country, it's not a city that you get to do whatever you want. It's not something that you can go wherever you want. Why I'm trying to go to the mayor's office and they deport me, LAPD deport me. Why I'm trying to go to our council member president office and then their LAPD deport me. Because there's something called a law and order. I am here to support our ICE director Tom Homan. I'm here to support our President Trump. I'm here to support every single ICE law enforcement on the street. And I'm here, I will always support our ICE law enforcement. ICE law enforcement lives matter. I will continue to support.
Speaker, your time has expired. Good morning. Which would you like to speak about?
Item 12 in general public
So you
comment.
have 1 minute for the item
It's
and
been
1 minute for
7
general.
years I've been here. God, everything. Item 12, I'm for. Item 12, I'm for. General public comment. I agree with Ulysses Hernandez. You should not be knocking on doors. I mean, come on. Irish people come here too. Irish immigrants come here too. I'm against this. General public comment. Shame on you, Karen Bass, for firing the chief. She did a good job. 1 term for you.
Next speaker. Good morning.
12 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Right now, we need to stand in unison. Nobody has a choice on who your parents were and where you were born. So for ICE and this government to do this, when they brought most of these people here as cheap labor, it's an incredible thing. Now you want to bring in different labor from Africa. How can you invite somebody in when you're kicking everyone out? It's just not right. But we need to stand together to make this stop. Everybody just please help your friends out, your neighbors, not just during an emergency, but this is an emergency. Please stand with everybody. Don't let the ignorant people pass this stuff. They got a right to their opinion, but it's still not right. Mayor Bass, general public comment. Mayor Bass, I'm not sure what you were thinking by redirecting this. The firefighters go towards the fire. I need at least 10 of the city council people to stand, show some integrity, and make sure that she gets reinstated, because they do what we can't do. And it's not right to blame somebody. If anyone should be blamed, we already know. Harris Dawson, you failed. Should have been across the street in the emergency room. But we're not going to point nothing at you, right? Oh, well, we already addressed the situation. No, that's not right. You're the one that should step down and tell people you did wrong. But you won't do that, right? Money-wise. The city will be accountable, right? The insurance companies are going to come after us. Do the right thing, Harris Dawson. Step down and let the captain come back.
I'd like to call more names for public comment. Jason Jenkins, Craig Wong, Jason Enright, Juan Munoz, Judy Wong, Kelvin Tolbert.
Good
Like to
morning. You
speak
have
on
1
all
minute for the
motherfucking
item
items.
and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Yeah, we heard that the Metropolitan Niggers have a transportation authority under Ms. Padilla. But who is she to know anything about the Paralympics and the parameters about the zoning regulations and those conditions, Mr. Attorney? Are they going to have any dog sales during the Olympics there? Woof, woof. Because I plan to go to the Olympics in 2028 and yell out, fuck the Koreans, I'm going to speak English. And that's just the way it's going to roll, bro. That's just the way the Olympics roll, bro. Because in my country, America, we speak English.
So I'm going to ask you to get
Yeah.
back on top. We're going to
Yeah.
move to general public comment.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Quality Act that applies to the activities of these necessary biddings. And I want to be the first nigger to bid on my part in the Olympics. And that is, I want to sell my drugs on the streets during the Olympics.
General public comment.
So we have a former cheerleader, Miss Padilla, who doesn't know how to behave during a presentation while I'm speaking. See, this is my presentation, and the cheerleader there If you look like that after being a cheerleader, I don't fucking want to be a
So
cheerleader.
I need you to speak to something that's within the city's subject
And
matter
going back to
jurisdiction.
this
You
shit
know
about-
the rules.
Yeah, and going back to this shit about illegal aliens and ICE, well, here's the problem. If you want to be a participant in my fucked up country and this fucked up world and this fucking time, then become a citizen. Become a naturalized citizen so that you can have every fucking right you have to you. Other than that, Ulysses the hamburger lady and Stalin Soda over there don't know shit about immigration. So before you criticize ICE, before you criticize Trump, for the record, 42 U.S.C. 1983 politely, fuck you and fuck the city of Los Angeles.
Your time has expired. So while we wait for the next speaker to come up, I appreciate everybody's patience. Obviously, we've heard some very offensive things. The Brown Act does not require anybody to be decent. It does require us to listen to their public comments. So again, thank you for your patience. It does not reflect the views of this body, of this city, as you've heard earlier. So good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment and item number 12.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Junie Wong, and I'm with the Stop the Gondola Coalition. And I would like this council to vote no on item number 12, and we should not be passing Olympic exemptions. This Olympic exemption motion is entirely unnecessary. It's greedy and a waste of the city's time and resources. It's a blank check to developers to take advantage of underserved communities when we're the ones who will bear the brunt of their impact long after the Olympics have left the city. How do we know? Because you do this when the Olympics aren't even coming to town. The proposed LA gondola to Dodger Stadium is an example. It would ruin Olvera Street, Chinatown, the LA State Historic Park, and Elysian Park. It was proposed as a transit project when all it does is go to a stadium that has 80 home games out of 365 days in the year. That's the same logic here. The Olympics are only here for one summer, and we have to live with the impact of luxury hotels and Airbnbs that contribute to the rise of rent, invasive aerial transit that would fly over people's homes, increase in policing and surveillance when we need ICE out of the city. This is a gross misalignment of priorities.
General?
We don't need the Olympics, and we don't need the gondola. We don't need a city government that prioritizes sports gentrification over the people. So vote no on this item. Thank you.
Before the next speaker comes up, I'd like to call a few more names. Daniel Gus, Phyllis Ling, Scott Mandel.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Craig Wong. I'm also with the Stop the Gondola Coalition, and I'd like to speak to the general comment and also number 12.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I find item number 12 very problematic because it fast tracks, the development process and sets a very bad precedent for this city. It denies input from communities and other impacted stakeholders. In a city where the development process is already very convoluted and lacks accountability and transparency, this will only make matters worse. I'm part of the Chinatown community, and as a previous speaker had noted, Frank McCourt is trying to build a gondola through our community and to destroy the park next to our community. This is a gondola that nobody wants. Our community has spoken out against it, and by removing all the processes for the development, it'll deny us the kind of input that we need on this. So we urge you to vote, no on item number 12. I'd also like to thank the council for taking such a strong stand on the ICE raids and the mass deportation efforts. Thank you.
Good morning. And what would you like to speak about?
My name is Jason Enright, and item 12 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
So item number 12 just really doesn't make sense to me. I remember there being a big fight in this council a year or so ago about a bunch of affordable housing units that were being exempted from these same sort of building rules, and everyone here in this council threw their arms up about it. But now for the Olympics, something we've been able to plan for years, we're going to exempt new buildings and new things from that, and it just doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe somebody fancy here can explain it. But it seems like if we can't have the things we really need exempted, like affordable housing, we shouldn't exempt these new buildings for the Olympics. It just doesn't seem fair to all the people who need that affordable housing. Moving on to general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
I'd just really like to thank everyone for being here. I'm a Valley resident. The Valley means a lot to me. And to see people like Mr. McCosker, who had a long drive to get here, show up in the Valley is really means a lot to me. But I would like to urge you all, we have a budget coming up soon, and there's going to be a lot of budget hearings and budget meetings, and I really like to urge you all to have a budget hearing here in the Valley so that we can all participate. I think that's only fair. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Good morning. And which items would you like to speak to?
Item 12 in general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Sure. Good morning, honorable council members. My name is Juan Munoz, and I'm here on behalf of Unite Here Local 11, the Hospitality Workers Union. We oppose agenda item 12, the Park Nazarian motion, as written. This motion raises more questions than it answers about the scope it seeks to exempt from city planning approvals. It fails to provide clear distinctions between temporary Olympic-related structures and permanent developments that could impact our communities far beyond the Games. While we acknowledge the urgency surrounding certain temporary structures for the Games, we have deep concerns about the potential for this motion to greenlight permanent developments without public engagement. We respectfully request two things. One, clarity on what's covered before the ordinance moves forward. And two, assurances that what's covered by the motion should only include temporary projects essential for the Olympics. Please amend this item. Thank you so much.
Good morning. And what would you like to speak about?
Yeah, DanielGus.substack.com, 12 and general public comment.
You have 1 minute for
Thank
each.
you.
Please begin with the item. Go
Item
ahead.
12, thank you, Mr. Harris Dawson, for having this meeting here today. More of this, and I will start cheering that. Be available to comment on items like item 12 away from City Hall. It's a good thing, and I will write a positive comment, a positive story, despite our differences, like getting beat up by your staffers. But you're letting item 12 be heard away from City Hall, and that's good. My concern is we have the Olympics, the whole damn world coming here, and we're making these changes at the last minute, and they're being voted on. So I like the fact that we're discussing this away from City Hall. Happy to write a positive story, but the Olympics is a big fucking deal, and we're doing this not online, without call-in, and your censorship of the public has a direct impact where more people can sound off on legitimate things. Just have people register so they can't game the system. And I would write a positive story despite your staffers attacking me and a KTLA reporter. General public comment. Ms. Hernandez, I warned you on DanielGus.substack.com. I had a story a couple of months ago called Sanctuary City Charade. I said it was going to happen. You guys didn't do shit. You lied to everybody. Sanctuary City Charade on DanielGus.substack.com. By the way, 1:30 today, I'll be on the John Cobelt Show on KFI AM 640 talking about all this and more. Like Officer DiNapoli, who is, by the way, sent back for retraining because he doesn't know how to deal with the public. So you are prosecuting a guy by the name of Rick Polizzi because he's had a treehouse in Studio City for 20-odd years. Department of Building and Safety never issued a formal decision on his property, just some vague one-sentence emails. And you guys are prosecuting it as a misdemeanor? Where's Miss Rahman? Come on, Mr. Harris Dawson. Go to the treehouse and do something good, and I'll write another positive story about it. Hit me up offline. I'll talk to you.
Next speaker. Good morning. And which items would you like to speak to?
We'll do general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
So I wasn't able to go downtown for item 3, so I want to clear up a few inaccuracies that you have about lot 690. The market rate is not $50. The market rate is $115. That's what the lot up the street goes for. The whole lot 690 is about 1/4 capacity because the people who have the monthly rates at the Sweetheart deal take the bottom floor. The second floor is usually 24 cars. Third floor, 0. Fourth floor, 0. Lot 690 doesn't even offer access anymore to the Riverwalk, which what it was designed for. And instead, it now appears as a hotspot, so I'm told, on sex meeting apps. So this whole Lot 690 is a bunch of sort of happy horseshit, pardon my French. The treehouse, seriously. I mean, I echo everything Dan Gus said. Go take a look at it. And then take a look at the other tree houses along the Riverwalk that are built by the homeless. His is being torn down, and you have these dilapidated structures all over the city that stay up. And bring back the fire chief. Don't lock arms with Mayor Bass. Lock arms with the fire chief.
Good morning. And which items would you like to speak about?
Speaking on behalf of the Neighborhood Council on a community impact statement, item number 12, and also general public comment.
Hold on just 1 minute. Okay, so for the community impact statement, we're going to treat these separately. You have 3 minutes just for the community impact statement. Are you also requesting time in your individual capacity?
Yes, individual capacity.
On
for
both general and 12, or?
I would like to do both in my general capacity or my individual capacity.
Okay, so we'll do this. Please start 3 minutes for the community impact statement, and then afterwards, we will reset the clock for a minute for item 12 for you, and then as an individual, and then general public comment another minute after that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. Good morning. My name is Phyllis Ling. I'm the chair of the Historic Cultural North Neighborhood Council. Which represents Chinatown, El Pueblo, Solano Canyon, and Victor Heights, 4 historic cultural neighborhoods around the birthplace of our city. We approved a community impact statement in opposition to item number 12 on drafting an ordinance to exempt Olympics-related projects from CEQA, city planning approvals, and many other regulations. We found the proposal to be vague and wide-reaching. It invites abuse and corruption while placing the burden of the consequences on our communities. What this motion is asking for is dramatic. It includes fast-tracking for not only the Olympics, but also other quote-unquote major events. But what are these other major events? That was one of the questions our neighborhood council had. 2 other questions we asked are, what is the process for determining whether a project is essential for the Olympics? And what criteria would be used to qualify a project for these exemptions? Major permanent infrastructure and development must not be forced on our communities without transparency and community engagement. Business owners and residents alike are concerned about what could be built next to them in the name of the Olympics and not having any voice in this process. The 2028 Games were awarded over 7 years ago. The slow progress by the Games organizers, both in the public and private sector, should not be an excuse to weaken regulations that are meant to protect all of us. We shouldn't have to give up our rights and our voice and be forced to live with the consequences of poor planning, especially when these are supposed to be the no-build games. Our board, which includes Olvera Street and Chinatown business owners, residents, property owners, and other community members, voted 15-1 to approve our statement in opposition to this motion. We only received public comments in support of our statement, which was in opposition to the motion. We urge a no vote. Thank you. Okay.
Is that the end of your community impact statement?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the community.
So you have 1 minute for yourself on item 12, and then you'll get the other minute for general public comment if you'd like after that.
Okay. So I'm against the Olympics exemptions. My name is Phyllis Ling, speaking as an individual. I wanted to raise the issue of how it would threaten housing. One of the things it could do is allow residentially zoned and entitled properties to be converted to other uses besides residential. Everyone talks about the housing shortage. Why would you make it worse by putting something like this? Like, for example, an ill-conceived gondola with no real funding plan on and over land that is zoned and entitled for housing. We have examples of Olympics exemptions could also make things worse in terms of perhaps allowing hotel developers to develop where it's already zoned for housing. Again, no gondola. This is a huge liability to the city and taxpayers. Let me see. We shouldn't allow the Olympics organizers' emergency to become our emergency and our burden to bear. And then, should I go on to general?
Go ahead. You have general public comment.
Okay, so then I wanted to also draw your attention to a letter submitted yesterday in the council file for item number 12 from Laura Velke. It noted the motion quoted the motion by Tracy Park quoted the statute in CEQA that somehow justifies this motion, when in fact the motion was missing a specific line in the statute that says Olympics facilities are not exempt from CEQA. So this ordinance in itself would become a project that would need to be studied under CEQA. So there really should be at least a report back from the city before it spends so much of our time and resources, city's time and resources, drafting this ordinance if it's not even going to be legal. You need to list the projects that would be included instead of this backwards and untransparent process of choosing projects to exclude from this ordinance. And they should only be temporary projects with provisions for their removal. As an individual, I also ask you to vote no on 12. Thank you.
So while we're waiting for the next speaker, just for members of the public who might have questions about what took place, the last speaker was a representative from the neighborhood council system. You might have seen those street banners encouraging participation in them. So when a neighborhood council votes on a community impact statement, it is a formal action taken by that board. They are afforded additional time as a representative of that board. So good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Good morning. My name is Kelvin Tolbert. I'm also a representative for the Encino Neighborhood Council meeting.
Okay, and are you here for an official community impact statement, or are you here, so did your neighborhood council take a vote
We
to
had
approve?
a meeting on Wednesday. We had a vote, and we voted 12-1 in opposition of item number 12. So
we'll do the same thing, just to clarify. You want the community impact statement and then also your individual 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general as well?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start with the 3 minutes for the community impact statement. Go ahead.
Okay, Wednesday night, the Encino Neighborhood Council voted 12-1 in opposition of item number 12. We understand that the urgency for preparing for the Olympics, but urgency should not be confused with recklessness. The Olympics did not appear overnight. We've known for years of the global event coming. Lack of planning does not create an emergency. It reveals one. The regulations that we're trying to pass here were put in place to ensure safety, stability, and long-term functionality. Disbanding them now does not speed up construction. It increases the risk of costly mistakes, safety hazards, and legal challenges. Instead of eliminating regulations, let's streamline the approval process, create dedicated Olympic development teams, and prioritize critical projects without sacrificing quality. Let's be bold. Let's also be smart. Cutting corners today creates liabilities tomorrow. We need leadership that plans ahead, not one that panics. And that's our community impact statement.
Okay, so you have 1 minute now in your individual capacity for item 12, and then your additional minute after that for general public comment. Go ahead.
The concern with item 12, of course, is putting up the permanent buildings. One of the spaces in Encino, part of it is the Sepulveda Basin, and that's a beautiful open space. And we definitely don't want to see developers be able to come in there and just have their way and do whatever they want in those areas. And not only do it, but make it permanent for us. Okay? So that's basically it. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I used 7 names just to get up here.
Good morning.
Item 12 and and public comment, please.
So you have 1 minute for each. Go ahead.
Number 12, it's all about the Olympics, and as I told Mr. Former president, I'm sorry, I'm getting old, I can't remember, but the one big issue is going to be the traffic. If he does not spend a lot of time and utilize the people who know this city, we need to make sure that traffic is really taken care of and that there's a real plan for that. As far as housing, you know, in December, I have the pictures right here. In December, I warned you folks. I said the fires are coming. I told you that you needed to prepare for it. I asked and I begged you folks. I told Mr. Lee, and he did nothing. But thank God we got rain and we didn't have any fires in Porter Ranch. So, you know, you want to give Miss Bass a hard time, but we elected her. Let her stand on her own merits. Mr. Dawson, I wish you would have done a better job. But, you know,
General
we have
public
what we
comment.
have. You know, the chief is a very nice lady, but it is the mayor who makes that decision. And again, you folks had all the information about these fires, and here all these people in Los Angeles are suffering because you did nothing. You did nothing many, many times. That happens here. Thank you.
Item 12 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Just say you're opposed to it. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say I'm opposed to item 12, and it should receive a no vote anyway if indicted criminal Curran Price and corrupt Dawson are allowed to vote. Item done. General public comment. The LA Council is the most corrupt local government in history of the U.S. Another agenda with 0 items for public comment. Another example of sleaziness, corruption, incompetence, and cowardice of Marquise Dawson. Fire damage, $275 billion, 6,000 homes destroyed. Raging homelessness epidemic. The city is burnt. The city is broken from incompetence and corruption. There is nothing to comment on because these clowns are doing nothing. They run here to Van Nuys with no agenda to escape the scrutiny of LA. While the city burned, Bass was tanning and partying, but the coward fired the fire chief. Corrupt Dawson was acting mayor in her absence. What was Dawson's response? What did he do? Why was he not coordinating with the fire chief with an appropriate disaster response? We will find out, little man. We demand Dawson's investigation.
Next speaker.
Okay.
Good morning. And what would you like to speak about?
Buenos días, honorable Concilio de Los Ángeles. Mi nombre es José Morán y va a ser un comentario general.
Hi, good morning, Honorable LA Council. My name is Jose Moran, and I'm here to give a public comment.
Okay, and it was just general, or is it general in item 12?
¿Solamente en general o en los también?
En general.
Just general public comment.
So you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, yo he trabajado durante 47 años en el Original Pantry Café de Los Ángeles.
I've worked for 47 years at the Original Pantry Cafe in Los Angeles.
Y estoy aquí para pedirles que se unan a nosotros, que nos brinden su apoyo hoy en la tarde en el Pantry.
And I'm here to ask you all to join us and to support us today at the pantry.
De las 2 a las 4 de la tarde, ya que estamos luchando para mantener nuestros trabajos en este monumento histórico cultural de Los Ángeles.
And we ask you to join us today, this afternoon, from 2 to 4 p.m., since we will be fighting to keep our jobs at this historic monument in Los Angeles.
Yo sé que el Mayor Jordan nunca sería tan cruel y monstruoso.
I know that Mayor Riordan would not be such a cruel monster.
Él fue una persona decente que siempre nos respetó y reconoció lo duro que trabajamos para hacer el Pantry el lugar muy especial de nuestra ciudad.
He was a good person that always respected us and was able to acknowledge how hard we worked to make the pantry a very special place in our city.
Pero ahora que su fiduciario está en control, nos está tratando como si fuéramos basura y planean arrojarnos a la calle con solo 3 días de aviso.
And now his trustee is in control, and he's treating us like garbage. And he's actually planned to throw us out into the streets with only 3 days of warning.
Simplemente porque estuvimos dispuestos a expresar nuestros pensamientos sin necesidades de
Speaker, your time has expired, but if the interpreter could interpret the
forma
last bit, please.
respetuosa.
Se le acabó su
tiempo,
tiempo, pero voy a terminar esta frase, ¿ok? And he plans to do this simply because we have been willing to express our feedback and our needs in a very respectful way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just an FYI to the members of the public, we try to remind everybody, so we do have to give everybody the same amount of time. If you would like to provide additional comments, you can do so in writing at lacouncilcomment.com. That's also you can find the URL at the top of the agenda. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. Oh shit, it's pretty loud. Item 12, the Olympics, and the and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you get 1 minute for each. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Thank you. You can probably even lower this a little bit. You heard the public over and over and over and over and over again. I think for maybe a decade, almost a decade straight, once the Olympics happens, because I think we knew about it as early as 2017 or something, 2018. People were being sold on the Olympics. It's kind of sad that the overwhelming response from the public has been, please don't do what you're going to do anyway. And instead of listening to them, you kind of just stand up and talk and have your little conversations on the side. I'm trying not to be too loud, but it's bullshit. It'd be cool if we could talk about it on the podcast, Marquise. Not me. I'm not a showman like that, but maybe you could have Stacy on the podcast.
So I'm gonna ask that you
to talk about the Olympics, and whatever else. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Oh, the Olympics is like the human trafficking capital of the world every time it happens.
1 minute for general. Go ahead.
General public comment. Listen, do I try to do everything by the code of the law? Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck about that. I try to be respectful to people and be cool with everybody in every moment, because the rules of the situation and the law of the moment is what matters more than anything else. It's about the spirit of the law and the spirit of the community and what we're trying to do in that moment that matters more than when people write down on paper and emotions or ordinances. But when y'all and I don't mind y'all breaking laws, all that shit. I really don't care, because as long as everybody's taken care of, it's all that matters. But you're not doing that. The worst part is that you enforce these rules like 7 and 12 on the public, and how dare y'all be disrespectful.
Sorry, can you hold us time for a second?
Sorry.
Mr. Herman, you know the rules just as well as everybody else. There are people behind you. Do not violate our sign rule. People cannot see the public speaker. They cannot see this council. This is your first and only formal warning. Don't do it again or you'll be subject to removal. I'm sorry, Speaker. Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all don't really listen to the public. You sit and stand and fall asleep and eat and have side conversations while the public is pouring their heart out. It's crazy. I'm not the type of person to do nothing about it, but there's a lot of people that come here that will, so I don't know.
Next speaker. Good morning. And which items would you like to speak to?
Just general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's John Rawlings. I live in Tarzana, and I just wanted to come out and say thank you for being here in the Valley. It means a lot for us out here that can't make the commute to downtown. And I just wanted to ask you all to consider, as we start doing budget meetings, to have one or two, a couple of them out here so that we can have open public comment, so that those of us in the Valley can have a voice and be heard on something as important as the budget. That's all I wanted to say today. Thank you so much for being out here.
Good morning. And which items would you like to speak to?
Item 12 and general public comment, please.
You get one for each. Go ahead.
Thank you. So everyone on this body should be aware of what the NSSE is, National Special Security Event. The Olympics is a national special security event. What does this do? It exempts anything having to do with the Olympics from sanctuary city laws like the ones you guys passed. So we heard, we saw some crocodile tears earlier about ICE raids, but then we see this motion to exempt building for the Olympics when the NSSE for this event started last year, making it so ICE basically has free reign to come in and remove people as they see fit. So if you're not going to address that through this, y'all are really hypocrites. The public consensus is overwhelming against this, and this Olympics was billed as a no-build Olympics. We should be using whatever resources we have and not infringing on the rights of residents and stakeholders. You guys know better. Mayor Bass was on a vacation far away, so the acting mayor was Marquise. Is that why there was a slight delay in declaring an emergency? Now they want to fire the fire chief. Now they want to fire Chief Crowley. It seems like they're trying to turn to someone to blame because they're in trouble. They're not concerned about me or you. It's their own asses they are trying to cover. They wanted to hold the vote tonight, but they had to cancel the vote for tonight. So I guess we'll see on Tuesday if the council does something that makes sense. Are they gonna do the right thing and reinstate Chief Crowley? Your actions aren't cute, Marquise. This is political. You shouldn't be having this discussion about the chief.
Councilor, it'll just be general public comment.
Okay, good morning. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I'm going to take this as a partial meeting confer, and to the other attorneys that are councilmen, I plan regarding Crowley to file a motion to intervene. The purpose that I wanted to talk to you about, in which I'll reduce it in writing, is when I do file the motion to intervene, how is your client going to deal with that? Since it's a quasi-judicial action, there has to be a ruling. Who does the ruling? And also, if I am able to intervene, I am entitled to discovery and a bunch of other things that are preempted under the code. So those are issues that really need to be addressed and so forth. Because if your client, the president, decides, oh, we'll just take it as public comment, that becomes a real problem. So that's the issue that I want to further discuss, and probably some of the attorneys here need to probably address. What is the issue regarding a member of the public as a taxpayer under, I think it's 587, to file a motion to intervene regarding a quasi-judicial administrative hearing? Thank you.
Good morning, City Council. I'm really concerned about the e-bikes.
And so are you speaking, which items?
General public comment.
Yeah,
Yes.
1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning, City Council. I'm really concerned about the e-bikes. They go too fast and it's dangerous. A lot of them drive on sidewalks. They don't wear helmets, no license plates, and insurance. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to wait until they sue our great city? Once again, we have a problem, like the winds and the fires that destroyed parts of this city that Mr. Dawson and John Lee could have prevented. Thank you.
All right, that concludes public comment for today's meeting, in-person public comment. We said we would go for 30 minutes. We went for 35 minutes, so I'll ask folks to stop disrupting the meeting. Mr. Spindler, that's your first warning. What's before us, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Candido, this is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting. Again, Mr. President, Mr. Herman has already been warned and is eligible for removal if you'd like.
So pursuant to Rule 12, and at his request, Mr. Candido and Mr. Herman are dismissed from this meeting.
Mr. President, the amendments for items 2 and 12 have been circulated. Would council like to take up item number 2?
Yes. So seeing no comments on item number two is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right.
And that was as amended.
All right. What's next?
Before council is item number 12, with item 12A, B, and C all have been circulated.
All right. I see Mr. Blumenfield on the queue.
Yes, Mr. President. I have two friendly minor amending motions to the amendments before us.
Hold on, Mr. Blumenfield. Mr. Herman continues to disrupt the meeting as he slowly walks out. Mr. Blumenfield.
Okay. Are we taking up A, B, and C separately, or should I talk about both A and B at the same time?
I think it's fine to talk about them all together, but
Okay.
I think we have to vote on them one by one.
So I'm offering a perfecting amendment, an amendment to the amendment on 12A, specifically on line 7 of Amendment 1, where in the draft, in the amendment before us, it strikes and accompanying ordinance. I would unstrike that, but then add in the words, that will not be considered until the reports are prepared and considered. So what I'm suggesting is that the amendment before us takes the removes the instruction to actually draft the ordinance. I'm very worried about the timing, so I'm putting that instruction back in, but also sensitive to the fact that we need to make sure that we know all of the important things that are being identified here in the report before we ever vote on an ordinance. So in order to keep the ball rolling, we would again unstrike the words so that we can have the ordinance be drafted, but make it very clear in black and white that we will not consider this until the report is prepared and considered, so that we can take into account everything that's before us.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Is there a second to that motion?
Councilmember Hernandez, Park, either one, both?
Councilmember Park.
Park, okay.
Okay. And then on 12B,
Okay.
which is Councilwoman Hernandez's motion, where it basically, on the bottom of it, it says, nor to any cable-guided transportation project and associated infrastructure. I was just a little worried that that could be too broad of a term, and that there may be some small temporary things that may or may not come up. So to be clear, to say, nor to any large-scale permanent, add those words. So cable-guided transportation projects and associated infrastructure, and I believe that's a friendly amendment. Mr. Hernandez is.
All right. Does that have a second? Seconded by Councilmember Hernandez. All right. Councilmember Padilla.
Can I speak after we review all three amendments?
All right. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President. First of all, I want to thank the folks that came here today to speak on this item, especially the neighborhood councils. It's good that we got two today, and that really means that this is being felt widely from different parts of the city. And I want to thank the chair of the Plum, Mr. Blumenfield, for seconding my amendment, which is 12C. And so I understand the intention of this is to try to streamline a lot of the approvals, because we know the city can be very slow. The issues I had with this is how broad this was, specifically on temporary and permanent. Temporary, less issues. I understand we have to build out, stages and things like that. Watch parties totally makes sense. Where I rubbed up a little bit more is on the permanent structures, because even LA 28's own website says no new permanent venues will be built to host the games. But we know that when we build things in our district, that gets a lot of attention from our constituents. A lot of parties are interested to what that looks like, how that looks like, how it's built, labor standards, and so much more. And so I added some language that I hope everyone saw to look at what does that actually mean. What does it actually mean for it to be an Olympics project? I understand the planning department doesn't have an existing list of Olympics construction that has to happen, even though we said we would build nothing for the Olympics. So I think everything that I am concerned about is in my amendment, which is just getting reports back on getting those clear definitions. So I hope it's viewed as friendly. I want to explore that more. And again, I want to thank the Chair Plum for seconding that. So thank you so much.
All right, so that motion from Mr. Soto Martinez is being seconded by Mr. Blumenfield. Councilmember Padilla.
You know, I gotta just say that I'm going to be, I'm very disappointed that we are still taking a really long time with this. I think for those of us who took the time to make the trip, to go educate ourselves on what exactly these facilities look like and could potentially look like, to understand the difference between what is permanent versus non-permanent. Like, are we really gonna have another conversation related to what those could potentially be? I feel like we are on the cusp of potentially losing all of the benefits that we could potentially get from the fact that we're going to be hosting the Olympics because we keep having questions. I think our planning department, with the way that we have this presented to us already, will get the job done to get us moving. So, colleagues, I gotta just say I'm not convinced with any of these three amendments.
All right, so that concludes comments on this item. Mr. Clerk, what's before us?
Mr. President, I suggest that we go from 12E, which would be the amendment that Councilmember Blumenfield, seconded by Councilmember Hernandez, and he just spoke that it's adding large-scale permanent to Amendment 12B. So we should take a vote on 12E first.
All right, so 12E is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be 12.
This was too fast. I would want to be recorded as a.
All right. We have Councilmember Padilla recorded as a no vote.
And that vote will be 11 ayes and 1 no.
All right, what's next?
Next would be Amendment 12D, which was a verbal amendment by Councilmember Blumenfield, seconded by Councilmember Park, to amend item 12A.
All right, let's open the roll on that item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?
Next, before council would be Amendment 12C, introduced by Councilmember Soto Martinez, seconded by Councilmember Blumenfield.
All right, let's open the roll on that item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?
Next would be Amendment 12B, introduced by Councilmember Hernandez, seconded by Councilmember Soto Martinez.
All right, let's open the roll on that item.
As amended.
As amended?
As amended.
Yes, as amended. Open the roll on that item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?
Next would be amending motion 12A, introduced by Councilmember Park, seconded by Councilmember Lee, as amended.
All right, let's open the roll on that item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
And finally, Mr. Council President, would be to take a vote on item 12 as amended by A, B, C, D, and E.
All right. That item is now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?
Mr. President, I believe the desk is clear.
All right. Motions are posted and referred. Announcements, members? Any announcements? Councilmember McCosker.
Thank you very much. Again, it's so great to be in the Valley.
Yes.
It is lovely to be in the Valley, and I want to call out one of our harbor area schools for their great showing in the playoffs. We are in high school playoff season right now, and I want to commend the women of Banning High School. Phineas Banning High School is in the playoffs today with 2 teams. Our girls basketball team is at Southwest College at 5:30 playing San Fernando. And this is a fantastic team because last year they were in Division III. They won the championship. They moved up to Division II, and they're back in the championship. On the soccer side, our girls soccer at Banning High School is playing tonight at Birmingham right here in the Valley against Marshall, and they're in Division I already. And so I just want to commend the harbor area women for their great showing in the playoffs and wish Banning High School all the best of luck for 2 championship games playing opposite each other. At the same time, I mean.
Wow.
So we have to choose whether we're going to be at Southwest or at Birmingham. I, for one, am going to be at Southwest.
Right on. Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Good morning, colleagues. I'd like to make an announcement wishing nearly 2 billion Muslims worldwide and 500,000 throughout Southern California a happy Ramadan. During this holy month, Muslims fast between sunrise and sunset as a way to gain spiritual discipline, renewal, and increase God consciousness. By refraining from food, drink, and other activities, Muslims gain a deeper understanding of the hardships faced by those who are less fortunate and recommit themselves to pursuing social justice. This is also a month of care for one another, extending kindness to all regardless of creed or background. For nearly 500 years, Muslims have been integral to the social and historic fabric of the United States, making huge contributions to the sciences, arts, and culture and music, including genres like jazz and hip-hop. Their influence extends to cuisine, education, architecture, and philanthropy. Notably, Los Angeles is home to some of the most thriving ethnic, racial, and multicultural Muslim communities in the world. As we mark the start of Ramadan, let's commit to showing up for our Muslim brothers and sisters and siblings and ask how we can support them in the workplace. Small gestures such as making a space for prayer or practicing mindfulness around scheduling can go a long way. To those observing, know that we welcome your faith, sacrifices, and traditions with open arms and value your contributions. Colleagues, please join me in wishing those observing this month a happy Ramadan. Thank you.
Councilmember McCosker.
Thank you, members. I have one more that I nearly forgot. Many of you around this horseshoe know my former partner and our friend Charani Patibanda Sanchez. And many others of you know Marco Sanchez, her husband. Charani worked here around City Hall for years, doing a whole bunch of work and doing nonprofit work as well as her own advocacy work. She moved back to Delaware and got involved with local governors, or the governor's race. And the candidate that she worked with became the governor of Delaware. And on Sunday, Charani Patibanda Sanchez is going to be sworn in as the Secretary of State of the state of Delaware, which is a big deal, a big deal, big success story. She grew up in Delaware, but she would consider herself an Angelino as well. And I'm going to have an opportunity to fly back and be with her for the swearing in. And so I will bring greetings from Los Angeles and congratulations from Los Angeles to the new Secretary of State of the state of Delaware, Charani Patibanda.
Wow, congratulations. Mr. Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President. I just want to very briefly say something about something that's happening personally. That's we heard some testimony today from the workers from the original pantry. It's really unfortunate what they're going through right now. I've known these workers for about 18 years of my life. They're coming to the Union Hall and advocating for their rights. And the sad thing is that the late and great Mayor Reardon loved those workers, just incredibly, even to the point of running the restaurant at a loss at some times, because he protected them and he cared for them. And these workers are about 2-3 days away from being jobless. And so I will be out there today at 2 p.m. to supporting them. And this is, I also want to add that us losing our restaurants, our institutions, is something that we need to be acting as a city. We lost El Tropical for a slight moment in District 13. We know Langers is going through a lot of challenges, and many institutions in the valley have been lost. And so, which is why Isabel, Councilmember Dorado and I introduced a motion today to look at how we can support those businesses. But obviously, we can pass legislation, but we can also be there in solidarity with them. So I hope folks can join me today at 2 p.m. in downtown LA. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Councilmember Soto Martinez. Today is the last day for Post and Beam in the Crenshaw District. It's coming back, but it's closed. Today is its last day for about 1.5 years while construction goes on at that site. So thank you for calling attention to our restaurants. If Mr. Blumenfield.
I just also wanted to, Adrian's there. This is actually his last official day. Now, he's not going that far away, so you will see him around here. Yes, but it's important. He's been such an amazing part of the team, and I just wanted to recognize him. So,
thank you so much. Congratulations. All right, seeing no other announcements, I'll ask everybody in the chamber to rise for adjourning motions. Adjourning motions to my left, Mr. Lee.
Colleagues, it is with great sadness that I adjourn today's meeting in honor of Brother John Thomas Crow, a leader and change maker in not only City of Los Angeles, but especially in the San Fernando Valley. It was only a few months ago that we celebrated the legacy of Brother John Crow alongside staff and leadership from Rancho San Antonio. We dove into the decades-long resume of a man who was selfless, who was revered, and who always served in the interest of others. That was a special and deeply meaningful presentation to me because of the reality that Brother John Crow and how he impacted just so many lives, so many young men through compassion, second chances, and a guidance towards a better life. His accomplishments in life extend far and wide, and the results of his work are easily seen and reflected in the lives of so many people that he has helped. Many of you may recall that Brother John was not physically with us on that day. Instead, he watched from his bed rest in Austin, Texas. It saddens me to say that what we knew was coming is unfortunately a reality now. Brother John Crow passed away on January 31st of this year, surrounded by the Brothers of the Holy Cross. He was born the fifth of 7 children to Edward and Bernice Crow in Detroit, Michigan. Brother John grew up understanding faith and family from a young age. When he eventually made his way to Southern California, he carried those lessons with him, eventually joining the Brothers of the Holy Cross, and in 1966, he began his 5 decades-long tenure at Rancho San Antonio. At the Rancho, he served in numerous capacities, but always with the same mission, changing the lives of at-risk youth for the better. Throughout his many roles, Brother John stayed committed to the Rancho, and even after he retired in 2024, he opted to remain on the board of directors until his passing. Colleagues, many of us know about the incredible things that Father Boyle does with Homeboy Industries. I wish more people understood of what Brother John did and his contributions to the city in making Rancho San Antonio a beacon of hope to so many. Under his guidance, the Rancho helped over 12,000 troubled youth get back on track, learn key skills, and ultimately build better lives for themselves. Brother John's life was one of true service, and beyond his work at the Rancho, he was also a member of the National Association of Social Workers, the Academy of Accredited Social Workers, the National Council on Crime and Delinquency, the Association of Children's Institution Administrators, the California Association of Children's Residential Centers, and many, many others. And in rare moments where Brother John was not working, he enjoyed camping, cooking, and freshwater fishing. It is rare to find a person who is so selfless and filled with love for others that they dedicate their entire existence to the uplifting and improving the lives of others. He was a true treasure and a rarity. I'm joined by so many people behind me whose lives were affected by Brother John, who loved Brother John. And I believe Rancho San Antonio, they put it best when they said to his colleagues he was known as disciplined and tireless, an advocate for young people, and a champion of redemption. Brother John Crow touched the lives of everyone he met. He will be laid to rest at the Brothers of Holy Cross Assumption Cemetery in Austin, Texas, where he will be buried near his brother, Vince Crow. And tomorrow, here locally, there will be a mass held at St. John Eudes Catholic Church in Chatsworth, starting at 2:30. In lieu of flowers, we kindly ask that you instead donate to Brother John Crow's Memorial Fund to contribute to his life's work in a more direct and impactful way. May Brother John Crow rest in peace.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. Any other adjourning motions? Seeing none, we are adjourned.